Buenos días. So I'm currently having my morning coffee, and I've been just thinking about my language learning process right now, because if you don't know this, I'm learning Hungarian. I'm now living in Budapest, and I feel like there is this huge excitement around language learning, which is something that I love, because to me it's a way for us as humans to connect and try to demolish the barriers between us. I don't know, I see it as a beautiful thing, language learning, because it's such a tool to connect with people. And yeah, whatever. And yeah, I've been seeing all this excitement because it seems like it's all about traveling, and it's all about I'm loving this, it's my hobby, and I'm dating foreigners or whatnot, whatever. And I'm in a point right now where I'm also seeing the other side of the coin. I'm going through some challenges because it can be very hard at times. And I've been also seeing these videos of learning a language in 7 days, learning a language in 2 weeks, in 3 months, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. And I understand these kind of videos is just people trying to push themselves for some days or weeks or months. And they go very intense with this, and they kind of share their methods or how they do stuff and how they progressed in a short amount of time. And I guess you can get value from that because they're sharing their techniques and stuff. But but I also feel like it can leave people with the wrong impression of what's truly like to learn a language, especially if you've been learning the language for more than, let's say, 3 months. You've been learning it for years, and you understand the struggles that comes with it, the maintaining of the language, because it's sometimes you're picking up different languages because you want to adventure yourself and learn new stuff and whatever, and you want to make sure you don't lose your level in the other language and blah blah blah. And if you're in this kind of world, I know you understand what I'm saying. But anyways, I just wanted to reflect on this because language learning can be hard at times. Even if the language that you're learning, it's very similar to your native tongue or another language that you know, it can still be hard. I know it's not the same for someone to learn, for me as a native Spanish speaker to learn Chinese or to learn Italian. I know that, but it still comes with some challenges. And also I love how languages are not really just hard or just easy. The brain doesn't really understand easy or hard. It's just a tag we give to certain things and processes. And if the language that you're learning, it's very different from the one that you know, or your native tongue. Of course, there are different sound systems and writing systems that your brain has to go through, and also all the movements it has to learn, because it's also a pretty motor skill, learning a language. You have to move your jaw in a different way, your tongue in a different way, and it's pretty challenging at times for anyone. Yeah. And I've also learned to say, okay, this is getting hard because my brain is just making new connections, is creating new neurological pathways, and that's hard, and I'm proud of my brain for doing that. So instead of just saying okay, that's hard or that's easy, I'm also okay, but when it comes to the processes that take place in my brain, this is doing this, and this is and I don't know, I like to do that in order to make myself understand that it's not just saying, okay, this is hard or this is easy. It's also yeah, well, this is easy to me because I already have the sound system that I need because it overlaps with my native tongue, or this is hard because I need to create new neurological pathways. Anyways, Then I've also learned to deal with frustration and to see mistakes for what they are, which is the next step to make. The next step to take is like, if I'm having a test on the past tense and I see that I've really made a lot of mistakes, it means that I really have to work on the past tense and I have to do more exercises about it. I have to pay more attention when I'm exposed to the language. Like, I have to be more concentrated when it comes to the past tense and learn more, blah blah blah. And also the frustration that comes with getting to study, because I feel like we are so used to the pain that comes with, let's say, building muscle, because you're very okay with being stiff. You're very okay with feeling the pump. You're very okay with all the pain that involves exercising and pushing yourself. But when it comes to studying, I feel like people don't really see it as that kind of pain. They're just like, okay, I'm dumb, I'm not made for this, it's not for me. And it's also a process. Like, you don't go to the gym the first day and you're like already knowing everything, or like you're already buffed. Like, you go to the gym to get better and to get in shape. And to me, going to the library or getting my ass to study is the same thing. Like, at first my focus would be running around all the time and I wouldn't be able to concentrate. But then after putting my reps in of just coming back and just studying every day, and I kind of feel like I'm building that muscle of, okay, this is normal, let's get back. And before, maybe I could concentrate for 45 minutes. Now I can go up to 3 hours. I don't know, maybe 3 hours on a very good day. But my point is that it's also a process of, like, of course you're not going to be able to lift 1,000 kilograms just like that, like out of the gate. But if you keep coming back to it, you will eventually be able to do that. You will eventually be able to pronounce certain things in a certain way, because now you are building that muscle that you're that the language requires. You're also going to build the muscle of getting better at concentrating. You're building the muscle of coming back to the studying, even if it's just 4 or 5 minutes. Sometimes I would come home very tired. I don't want to do anything. Like, the last thing I want to do is my grammar exercises, but I still do them because I know on the long run it's those micro moments in the day that really matter. And what else? Because also, progress is not linear. At first it does seem like it's linear, because it's like it goes so fast, and you go from not knowing to knowing not knowing anything to knowing something, and that's like fast and very steady. But after you put in work, like put in the effort for like months or even years, you understand how sometimes you will remember words like very easily. You would be able to, like, I'm able to memorize words just like that. I don't know how. Like, even with Hungarian, that's so different from the languages I know. It's like it just goes in. Like, there is a flow of like memorization there. But sometimes it's just like it's so hard to just memorize one, to remember one. And it's this understanding of like, okay, sometimes it will be very good, sometimes it will be very bad, but the key is just to come back. I've also learned to appreciate consistency more than intensity, because I feel like it's way more powerful to just study 15 minutes a day, every single day, than just have a huge study session of 3 hours, let's say every Friday, or go to that language class and spend 4 hours on your language, but just in that day. Because also it helps with the forgetting curve, because like your brain is tuned to forget stuff that it doesn't get exposed to. Okay. And you have to keep coming back and to keep repeating certain things for it to stick. And I come to appreciate that, like, consistency is way more important than intensity. But I've also come to cherish intensity. So if, let's say there some days in a week that I am more free for whatever reason, I'm like, okay, these 3 days are gonna be very intense. Like I want to study more intensely because I have more time. So I block some time and I do that. But I also keep the consistency because like it's okay, like even if it's 15 minutes, but some days I can push way more than that and I can get more intense with it. So I think it's the balance of like keeping consistency with also pushing yourself a little bit every now and then or whenever you're available. But yeah, that was just yeah, that was just my reflection on this, because yeah, I've been struggling a bit with Hungarian, especially because in June I want to take this hard exam and it's already like almost December and I feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be if I want to take that test. And yeah, I was getting pretty frustrated and like I was studying so hard and still like not seeing any progress. And the other day, like my teacher gave me a little speech, like a little motivational speech on how like I'm doing a great job, and like she was telling me like she's never encountered a student this motivated and this hardworking as me, and that was so cute of her. And she was like, just give yourself some patience, keep up with the work, like the effort you're putting in, like you're doing enough, and just trust the process and be patient with yourself because you're really on the good path. And I know it sounds very cliche, but it was just something that I needed to hear in that moment. So yeah, that was today's reflection. Yep.